this for you guys. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Thunder. My friends call me Shooter. I'm here with Thomas Schooley, fresh off the Florida State Fair. That actually sounds like the sound that they make, like when you go on that ride that you have a 50-50 chance of like flying right out of. Make sure you're strapped in, Thomas Schooley.
Or it also sounds when you win one of those little water games.
And make sure you finish that fried Oreo. This is We the Thunder. Welcome. Take a seat. Have a drink. It's happy hour here on Friday afternoon, Friday evening, I guess we should say. And we're here to talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Tampa Bay Lightning, which are on a 3-game winning streak since the last time we talked, and have new jerseys and have the best player in the NHL. Oh, wait, let's get this out of the way early. This is the part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, where I worship the best player in the NHL in the world, statistically speaking. Here he is, Nikita Kucherov. Mr. Kuch, what can we do to make it easier for you? Is there anything that we can do?
That's how we do it.
Oh, that's how we do it, Thomas Schooley. That's how we do it. There's Kuch for you. All right. Friday night. Did you go to the game last night?
I did.
Colorado Avalanche. What a good game.
It was a real good game. Right from the jump, and it was you had a lot of Avalanche fans there. And I don't want to hear about season ticket members selling their tickets, blah, blah, blah. Because trust me, we just all got our renewals and our playoff pricing. And if we don't have children to sell or an OnlyFans, we got to do something for this money that they're charging for playoffs and for next year. So if you can get the money, get it. It ain't our fault. It wasn't a Lightning fan that bought it. Anyways, so it was real good. Huh?
Sounds like excuses to me.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Unbelievable. Unreal.
It was a good game. And of course, everybody was anticipating those third jerseys. And as soon as they came out for warm-ups, you got to see, they broke them, about 10 a.m., 11 a.m. yesterday. And then
just wait until the absolute last second to start talking about the jerseys that they're going to wear the same day. And if you look at the schedule, I'll have to pull it up. It's almost like they're just wearing them the rest of the season now.
7 games.
Yeah, there's not that many games left, though.
Well, that's true. They came out on warm-ups. I'm still undecided on these jerseys.
Oh, I'm getting one tomorrow. If they got a Cooch in one of my 2 sizes tomorrow, because I'll go a size up so I can wear a hoodie underneath of it on those 3 cold nights that we have here in Tampa. But if they have a Cooch, I'm in. I didn't see Sergachev. I don't know if they're holding back because he's injured, but I don't think they've got Sergachev at the team store.
I didn't see Sergey. I see Chernak, Hedman, Vasi, Hagel, Stammer, Cooch,
Chernak.
Yeah. Those are the ones I saw. Of course, you can have them made with any name.
Can I?
Yeah, you can pay the $100 extra for any name. You're gonna pay that $100 if for having Cooch's name on the back anyway.
This is a good time to talk about my GoFundMe for my Lightning third jersey. There it is, folks. All right, I'm curious who's out there. What do you guys think of this? Thomas still on the fence. I didn't like it. We helped leak the jersey on one of our shows, and that was from a Lids employee who got a little excited to show what was on the rack there behind the whatever they call it at Lids, behind the wall. But that was it. There it is. So our third jersey mixes the old with the new. I will say I'm not on the fence. Obviously, I'm going to try to get one tomorrow. At the
I love the domes. I love the helmets. The helmets, the matte black helmets. Like if they sold those, I'd have one on my shelf today. Because I like them better than I like the jerseys. The jerseys, I didn't. The reason I'm torn on it is because number one, that is the old shoulder patch. So you get the shoulder patch that's now on the crest, but you have no shoulder patches. And I've heard that from a couple different people, the same thing. So now you have no shoulder patches. So that's my big thing. The other thing is I don't know why I didn't try it on when Serena and I were in the team store yesterday. But a lot of times when it's that big logo, when you sit down, it goes up into your face because of the stiffness and everything. So I should have tried it on and sat down and see how it's going to be. But I didn't try it on yesterday because I thought maybe I'd be walking out with a $300 jersey or so.
Matte black helmets paired with black jerseys. A modern spin on the team's traditional color scheme. There's just something about the Tampa Bay Lightning wearing black in Tampa that feels like home to me. I don't know what it is, but I feel like we belong in black jerseys.
And Spinning Chicklets even shared this on their Facebook yesterday. And 95% of fans from other teams love it. And it was weird. You see a lot of comments in there saying, I hate the team, but these jerseys are nice, especially when you see all these teams going with some crazy schemes lately and some crazy colors that a lot of fans from other teams are liking it.
Well, this is a traditional look. So a lot of people are like, well, this isn't a creative design. They took a logo from the shoulder. They added the stripes. The stripes on the arms is a traditional kind of look. So that's what they were going for here. So the victory stripes, which, by the way, if you have any of the original Tampa Bay Lightning jerseys, victory stripes on the armpits on purpose, because you only see those stripes when the team is holding up their hands after they score a goal or after they win a Stanley Cup. So there is some history there. As it says here, the stripes pay homage to the Lightning's legacy of success as they were part of the original sweater when the inaugural team took the ice on October 7th, 1992. They were under the arms, so when a player, well, I just said that. So there you go. That's where those three stripes on the side came from. And I really like the numbers. That's what sold me on it. I really, really like the numbers in the full kit. So I'm going to try to get myself one tomorrow. And I think I'm not alone there. But I'm curious. Let's go back to the chat here and see, first of all, if anyone's out there. Are you out there? Looks like we got some people. Jody's out there. Hey, guys. Serena's out there. You know I'm right. Is out there. He likes the jerseys, even though I don't like the patch because they took the state of Florida off. True. They did. But that's been gone for a while now, I think. They haven't had that state of Florida patch for a while because they replaced it with the one that's now on the front here, the crest. If you go back to when we played our little game, designing or guessing what the Stadium Series jerseys were going to look like, Thomas actually nailed it. You can go back, pull the video. I was the one that said it's going to be that logo in white. So eventually it came later.
Watching it on TV, how did they look?
I think it looked great on TV.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not going to get the complaints of the former black jerseys. Like every commentator hated them because you can't see them from way up where the media sits. You couldn't see the numbers.
Right.
But the numbers just pop out in that white, and same thing with the lettering. April's on the fence. Don't love the shoulder patches, the crest. Everyone's doing that. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's had a logo, that shoulder logo. What's up, Alex? Love the jerseys. The no patches suck. Okay, so yeah, you're talking about is the no patches on the shoulders. Jody likes the blue outline of the numbers, super sharp. That's what I just said. Totally agree with you on that one. I don't know. I didn't like it at first, but I got to see the jerseys in real life and see them in a game, and yeah, I'm gonna try to get myself one of those.
Yeah, there was lots of them available, and I don't think Madison, who's our little helper. I know we're going to talk about the watch party. Madison, our little helper, whose birthday it was for the last watch party. She was the first one I seen in it. She got herself one yesterday, but I didn't see many people in them yesterday. But I mean, I didn't like the last jersey they came out with. Not the All-Star, but the Gasparilla one.
Oh,
Gasparilla one.
That doesn't count. That's not a jersey they actually wear.
Yeah, I know. And so I don't know. I just don't. I know they're going to Fanatics next year, so
you better get that Adidas jersey now. This is gonna be the last one you can get.
So I'm like, oh, we'll have a new jersey next year that I'm gonna be spending the $300 on anyway.
Not really, though. I think they're gonna ride this jersey out a couple seasons.
You think?
For sure. Yeah. You're only gonna be able to get a Fanatics version of it next season. That's why I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get that Adidas version now. Because the Adidas jerseys are usually pretty nice.
Serena said they say Fanatics on it too.
That's a problem. No, I heard they're not stitched. Like the nameplates and stuff are not stitched on there. Take a guess. What did I say? Which one I'm going for?
Yes,
I did. I got to give myself a Cooch jersey.
Yeah.
He earned it. He's earned it this season. Head to head last night with McKinnon, and McKinnon, had a decent game, 2 points, right? But I mean, come on, who's the real best player in the NHL right now? I think we saw it last night.
Right? It was funny because McKinnon got the point first last night, and I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" And I was like, "Great!" And then the very next point, and you asked this question on Twitter: who would be the first person to get a goal in the New Jerseys? And it was Braden Point, and the assists with Kucherov. So I was like, "Yes, good. He's got another point, same as McKinnon. Good." And then Cooch got another one, and then Cooch got another one. I was like, all right.
Well, good. No, they took one of them away. I think they took the point one away.
Did they?
Yeah. The one that it kind of bounced off the boards and then off point and in, they took that away from him, and they actually should have because one of the Colorado players touched it.
What? Yeah, I did see.
He still ended up with 3 points. He had 2 goals and 1 assist still.
And then I seen at first the Lightning came across that Stammer's goal was unassisted. I was like, no, that wasn't.
Oh, that was definitely assist.
Yeah, I was like, that was not unassisted. That was the sweet little pass from Kucherov.
Which, by the way, when is the last time you saw Stamkos score a goal like that before?
When is the last time you've seen Stamkos break away? And he did it twice. The other one was offside.
I thought he was onside. The other one, they called the other one offsides. I thought he was onside. It looked like on the replay that he was dragging his foot and he was onside, but they blew that one dead pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. And I was listening to the radio on the way home, and it seems like these teams now, especially. And I yelled at during the first period during that power play that we had. It was plain as day. They were just trying to get the puck to Cooch, just try to get it to Cooch and try to get him points. And it was a shit show from that first power play. And I'm yelling, just shoot the puck. Stop trying to get Cooch points. Just shoot the puck.
That was me.
He
that
will
was me
get
at the
points.
End of the game. When I think it was Hagel forcing the pass back to Cooch so he could get the hat trick. Guys, we don't get hat tricks at home this season. It's just not allowed, okay? Even Cooch had a shot on the empty net that missed by a couple inches. So it's like we're not getting that hat trick at home. I don't think it's happening.
Just shoot the puck. Stop trying to get him points. Like, I understand it's him against McKinnon right now, number 1, number 2. You got to. But he's going to get his points. You don't need to forcibly do it and turn over the puck the wrong way by doing it. And so I yelled, stop, just shoot the dang puck. And and I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those shoot the fuck people, but it was really getting agitated last night. But Cooch is going to do it. But you could see almost the whole game, they were double teaming Cooch. They had someone on him the whole time, every time he was on the ice. And Coop started double shifting him, and they were still keeping someone on him the whole time, which left for those breakaways for Stammer, which left for some of those close goals. The hardest shot I'd ever seen. And
what was the hardest shot you ever seen? You glitched out for me. I don't know if you glitched out for everyone. I still can't. Yours frozen though, so it's my. Am I frozen? I think Thomas Schooley's having internet problems. It's not me this time.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. So I have the show to myself now. Schooley's frozen. Yes. Finally, this is what I always wanted. Look, let's just get rid of Schooley here. Listen, we got Stash gone. We got Schooley gone. Welcome to the Shooter Show. All right. I totally got distracted by what he was talking about, but he was talking about Nikita Kucherov and Colorado double teaming him. And I will say, on the game-winning goal by Nikita Kucherov, Kuch was wide open for that. And you know who missed the assignment on that? It was none other than Ross Colton, who should have been covering Kuch, but how do you leave Kuch that open? And that was the game-winning goal. And by the way, props to Braden Point, who, I thought he was just a scorer, but this guy can pass now. If Kuch was right-handed, if that was Stamkos, that would be a perfect pass right on his stick. But Kuch is left-handed, so he had to kick it up to his stick, and that was the easiest goal maybe Kuch scored all season.
It was a nice little kick, too.
That's how to do it, baby. Wait a minute. How do you do it?
Nobody can beat us. That's how we do it.
That's how we do it. Yeah. Braden Point. No look. Beautiful.
But we did get a point by a former Bolt.
He scored a goal?
Jonathan Drouin.
Well, Drouin's playing on the first line up there.
Yeah.
So you're listen, if you play with Nathan McKinnon, you're going to get points too. Okay? Same thing with Kuch, right? It used to be, and I still don't like that approach. I still don't like Stamkos on that line because I would rather have them spread it out. But it's
every goal came from that line, even though the one goal that Kuch had, it was Hagel and Paul on the ice with them. But that top line's what scored all the goals last night. Well, sorry, all the way up to the winning goals.
They score most of the goals every game. That's actually kind of part of the problem. But
to really get that empty netter.
Yeah, after he had a breakaway goal that pretty much could have clinched the game a little bit earlier, and I was like, oh, that's rough. Because you knew Colorado wasn't going to just roll over and die. But yeah, once the net emptied, the team was able to put a couple in because it was really a 4-3 game, but thanks to empty nets and 6-3. That's why I'd never gamble on the over and under in hockey, because you got teams that pull their goalie, Lightning being the worst offender of that, and like the scores get all out of whack. By the way, it looks like we are up on Facebook. We did some tweaking to the intro. And anyway, what you should do is go follow us on YouTube, because I don't know how long we're going to last on Facebook. We're the bad boys of podcasting. So I don't know how long we'll last there. It wasn't all good though last night. Paul was out the whole third period.
Mm-hmm.
Paul and Jeannot didn't practice today.
And Coop said Jeannot probably will not play this whole homestand and hasn't really given up gave in a update on Paul. I think Paul might be a game time decision tomorrow. Nobody has been able to see where Paul might have got injured. It had to have been somewhere in the second because, like you said, he didn't even come out for the whole third period. So, yeah, it's the good news is we've seen some of these young players and they're stepping right back in. I mean, last night we had ABB on the ice. We had Shafee, Lilleberg still ain't going nowhere. So, you know, April saying she believes that they said Paul is also out tomorrow. I'm also out tomorrow. I'll be officiating a wedding, so I will not be at the game tomorrow. So I will not be on.
So the Thomas Schooley fan club will not be in session at the intermission in the stairwell. Let's reminisce about the time that I walked. I'm upstairs and I'm going back to my seats in the lower bowl, and I'm walking down the staircase and I see Thomas Schooley with a big light on him with some young ladies filming him. And I try not to make a distraction as they are mid movie making, but I couldn't just go by. Anyway, there will not be any filming of Thomas Schooley in the building tomorrow night, in the stairwell, outside, in the building. He will be busy tomorrow.
If anybody knows me, they know I hate that kind of stuff. It was a girl's. It was a member of Thunderbolts. It was her school project or something. She had to interview some fans, and she asked me if she could interview me. So that's what it was. It wasn't nothing.
He hates it, but he never misses a chance. Never misses a chance to get on.
I try. Yeah, listen, the people for the Jumbotron came by me yesterday, and I was hoping to God I wasn't going to be on there. And thankfully, and someone, Sarah, she messaged me yesterday. She goes, I forgot how fast these games with Colorado go. And I said, yeah, there was not much stoppage and play yesterday. I think there was only like a total of 4 icings the whole game, 5 icings the whole game. And most of them were in the third period when we were missing the empty net. There wasn't much stoppage of play except for goals.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get 2 good teams. Elizabeth said Paul made it to Florida Blue today, and I saw a post that Janot was out. It might have been Florida Blue, but he was out at one of the hospitals or something. So at least these guys are well enough to go get out there in the public, which means they'll be back soon. Maybe. By the way, Elizabeth was at the watch party. So shout out to Elizabeth. And I know many of the people in the chat were here.
Serena, Stephanie, Jody, all at the watch party.
Where's Karen Clemente, though? Because she was the big winner. She posted a picture of her at the game last night, and I was like, that's a hell of a game to be in basically the front row for. And she said, yes, it was. So, yeah, if you haven't been to one of our watch parties, we only have one left here in the regular season. And I told those folks at Cigar City, I'm like, listen, I think we've outgrown your little spot here. So if there's anyone out there that wants to have any away game watch parties during the playoffs, nothing's set in stone yet, but reach out to us. We do definitely have one more at Cigar City. We did change the date of that. It was going to be on a Sunday night, which we didn't think was going to be great. So we changed it to April 13th, which is a earlier game, like tomorrow. It's a 5:30 game, obviously an away game, though, against the Washington Capitals. So if you do want to come see what all the hype is about, come watch a game with us. 2 people, 1 family got a Steven Stamkos signed stick, mini stick, and we gave out a bunch of other stuff too. So even some beer. We're giving out 6 packs of beer. Yeah. So what did you think of the watch party? Besides, obviously, we ran out of room.
Yeah, no. the support and the feedback we got from everybody that was there. And that's what I try to do whenever, I see people that was at these watch parties afterwards, a couple days later. I'm like, okay, what do you think about the watch party? What did you think? What did you think? And everybody loved it. We had some issues with it last time with the sound. I think we fixed that this time. We know there was that little delay from, yes, shooter fixed the sound problem. We know there was a little difference from the TVs from in our room to the ones that were out in the dining room. And that actually was kind of beneficial for us trying to get some video of the reactions of the people that didn't see it in the bar, of when they would score. So that was good for that. But other than that, the turnout was great. We had Sticks of Fires there, some Sticks of Fire members. We had almost all of Thunderbolt admins were there. A lot of members just from the podcast here. There was even people that literally we met that night, that their friends just told them, hey, your Lightning fans, come see this podcast. So, it was a fun time.
I didn't tell you this yet, but I think the Comparion insurance people, they're the ones that donated those tickets to give away. I think they were really surprised. Like they didn't know what they were getting into. So I've been talking to them. If you like the new jerseys, you might want to come to the next watch party. That's all I'm going to say right now, because nothing's set in stone. But if you like that new jersey, you might want to come out April 13th.
Yeah,
by the way,
she was really happy.
I'm not even promoting April 13th because we don't want more people to show up. Because if we do, we need the whole place. We need the whole place.
Yeah, no, and it wasn't a bad problem to have. And just so everybody knows, we did give them a head count of 50 people, in which we ended up with, I want to say 52 people. So, we were right on with that head count. It just was not relayed. The communication was just as good as the Lightning and Delaware North's communication. So.
Yeah. But it was a good time. I'm glad everyone came out.
You see this here?
Yes. Top shelf. Haven't been there. I might stop by there tomorrow afternoon. By the way, tomorrow's game's early. If you didn't catch me say that, it's a 5:00 start time. So prepare accordingly. I think it's supposed to rain. Yes. I will be at another event. Let me share this. Sticks of Fire was going to have a tailgate due to potential rain. They're going to move that over to Yeoman's Top Golf Swing Suite. So they've got a suite over at Yeoman's. So I'm going to go check out that for a little bit. I'm trying to go to the stadium early and get myself a jersey. So if you are looking for something to do before the game, you're going to want to get down there early. Look at the time here. Starts at 1, hang out till 4. Get yourself on one of those machines where you can shoot a hockey puck at the screen or a golf ball. I think it's only $10 if you want to get on one of those. And you can come say hi to me. I think our old friend, the Stash, will be there.
What time are you going to be down there?
I don't like to make time commitments for anything. My priority number one is I want to get down there and get a jersey before I can't get in there before the game, Yeah. So I'll be in downtown Tampa probably by 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow. So anyway, if you do plan on going to this, there's a Facebook event. I'll put it in the chat. And you know what else we're doing? I don't even think you know this, Schoolie, is I'm bringing a professional microphone here, and we're going to record some of the stuff that Sticks of Fire does, some of the chants and the songs that they have. And I've been talking to them about doing a video for those just to help kind of get the word out before the playoffs on some of these chants that everybody needs to be doing. So everybody is all on the same page with that. So come out. You might hear yourself in a future video that we make. Tomorrow afternoon. Countdown's on. Less than 18 hours to go. Something like that. Okay. All right. Last night's game, huge win. Yeah, the Bolts can beat good teams. I know that's a concern for a lot of people out there, but Colorado, not good lately. Tough road trip. Those Southeast road trips are tougher on some of these teams, but they're still a really good team. Tomorrow's going to be a pretty good game. The Florida Panthers, I believe, are number 1 in the NHL right now. Let me fact check myself on that. Yeah, they are. They're tied for number 1. Hold on, that's just Eastern Conference. I'm sorry. They're tied for number 1 just in the Eastern Conference with 74 points. Vancouver Canucks have 80 points already this season. What is going on in Vancouver? And I believe, by the way, they helped us out and beat the Detroit Red Wings, unless they fell apart and lost the game at the end. I fell asleep watching that game last night. So
and they're a tough team.
Who? What?
The Florida Panthers are a very tough team.
Hell yeah! Tomorrow's going to be. You thought Thursday night was a good game. Tomorrow's going to be fucking crazy. Okay, these teams don't like each other. They know each other. They don't like each other. So Saturday night, Amalie Arena, or Saturday evening, Amalie Arena, and the Sunshine State Showdown. It's always a good game. And I think the Lightning got something to prove. Think Vazzy's starting tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
He better be. All right, let's look at the schedule ahead though. While I'm on here, so you've got 5:00 again. Florida Panthers. Get there early. Come hang out with myself and Sticks of Fire, and then you've got a rare Monday night game at 7 p.m. That is home against the lowly Ottawa Senators. This is a must-win game.
Matty Joe.
I don't care about Matty Joe. Get out of here with that. Got to win this game. It looks like it is on NHL Network and Sun Sports. And then we've got another game against the Caps next Thursday, and then hitting the road up in the Northeast for a couple games here to round out the month. Back home and against Buffalo on the 29th. So tough schedule here. We're going to be back, I believe, probably to Wednesday night on the 21st. We'll be on. And I don't have it finalized yet, but I think we're going to have a really cool guest join us. I don't know if you guys have seen the Memento. What would you even call this? It's not an app, is it? It's just a website, right?
Yeah. So last night and tomorrow night's game, they are actually going to be down in 128, and they will print out this for you, which is a moment from your seat. This was last night, myself and my friend Jody right there. And it tells you your seat numbers, looks just like a ticket. It's printed on it.
What tickets used to look like, because there's no such thing as an actual ticket you can hold.
So they do this they started doing it a couple months ago. You can go to mymemento.com there. All you do is put in your seat number. You can do this for any of the game they've done it at. And you will get to see your memento, and you'll get to see still shots. And then they also make it into a GIF.
Yeah, you've sent me pictures of me and you celebrating.
Yeah, the whole time. And they do it. So it's a little thing now. They are going to do something during the second tomorrow. They are going to ask everybody during the second to raise a glass all at the same time, whatever it is, whether beer or whatever, and they're going to do a toast. I'm not sure if it's going to be during second intermission or second period, but he did tell me during the second tomorrow, they are going to ask everybody to do it, and they're going to try to do one big toast and a whole big picture of it, and they're going to attempt to do this at least 2 more games during the season. So if
So
you're there,
go follow at We the Thunder Pod. I'm supposed to go by their booth tomorrow, and I'll tweet out. I'll go there first thing, and I'll tweet out when that's going to be. So make sure you follow me, or us, I should say, We the Thunder Pod. I have my own Twitter, by the way. It used to be. It was banned for at least 2 years, but I'm back. But at We the Thunder Pod, and I will let y'all know when that is going to be. And Thomas, you talked to him yesterday, you said, right?
Yeah, I talked to him last night when I went to go down here and get this, and was telling him about the podcast and Thunderbolts, not knowing he had already actually reached out.
They actually reached out before you went by there. Then,
right?
So I'm trying to get. I'm going to see if they're going to come on next Wednesday to talk about what they do. If you haven't checked it out, it's free. It's pretty cool too. Like I had a lot of fun with it when I was at Carly for the Gasparilla game because it was after Gasparilla, so
he was playing with his nipples,
all gassed up. But like once I know the camera's going to be on me after a key moment of the game, like I got to take advantage of it. So,
and then he couldn't find them, but I was able to find them. So.
It's a really good idea, and I guess they're expanding to some other teams.
It's a lot better than that fan cam that they've had over the last couple of years. And I was upset at the beginning of the season they didn't have the fan cam, but now they have this, and it's pretty cool. And like I've sat in when I sat in the glass seats, I looked at that one, and that one was pretty cool. And so it's really any seats that you have sat in that you can go to. It doesn't have to be your season tickets.
I want to know how they do it. Like, how do they get you if you're on the glass?
Very hard. Yeah, you can only see like through the glass. That's it.
Yeah. Well, they probably didn't get Karen last night because Karen was right there, right in the thick of things. But she did post a picture and tag us on X on it. So thank you for doing that. I said, like I told her when I was sending her the tickets, I was like, just so you know, you're probably going to be on TV. You're probably going to be on the Jumbotron. And I'm pretty sure she was on both last night because somebody mentioned that they saw her on TV. So those tickets are awesome. And I'll tell you what, we are definitely going to give away those tickets again at some point. Luckily, the person that owns those seats has heard of the show and has listened to it before. So they are generous enough to help us out with that. So stay tuned. Tell your friends.
She was on both here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right in front of like the cameras for the TV and for the Jumbotron. There's no doubt about it. In fact, the first time that guy who has those tickets reached out to me, I was like, oh yeah, I just saw you. I saw you on the Jumbotron. Like I just recognize that guy now. I saw you on TV. I saw you on Bally's. And it's because the cameras are all right there. That's why it's front row, but it's not on the glass because that's the media is actually right in front of you. Which, by the way, is better than being on the glass because you're a little higher up and you're not going to hurt yourself banging on the glass with your hands. Because if you bang on the glass with your hands the entire night, you will be sore for the next 2 days. That glass is glass. So you really don't want to.
Plexiglass.
It still hurts if you're banging your hands on it all game.
That's true.
I don't know. I've never sat at the front row at Emily. So.
Oh, well, it's fun.
Yeah. Tell me all about it. So what happened? I did not watch the shootout win up in Boston, but I did think that was a huge win for the Lightning. Any commentary on that? I didn't see a second of the game.
Of the Boston game?
No, I was working.
Oh. No,
I won money on it though.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was.
Of course, I picked the Lightning to win that game.
It was an important game for us. You know, it was something we needed to do. And going into that game, I didn't think it was going to be that close. It was Marchand's 1,000th game. We saw this team came out when it was Stammer's 1,000th. So there was a lot of hoopla going in. They had some of the old Boston Bruins people there in attendance for Marchand's 1,000th game. And
Big game. 2 assists for him too.
yeah. And then to get out there with the win, that was good.
Absolutely. Anytime you beat the Boston Bruins is okay with me. And they are on a little bit of a slide lately. So the thing I really like about the Lightning right now is, again, last week was tough with, the back-to-back losses up in New York, losing Sergachev. But January's been really good. We're on a 3-game winning streak. What are we, 8 games at home with wins now?
We haven't lost at home in 2024. We haven't lost in the black jerseys yet. So we're on a good little roll right now.
Here's the thing. If this just continues to build, we're going to be in really good shape by the playoffs. It doesn't matter what you do before, that halfway point of the season. Now is what matters. And I think even the teams we're still not playing our best right now, right? Maybe after last game, they felt a little bit more confident. But I do think tomorrow's going to be a huge game. You've got the top team. Again, I know they played the top team earlier this week in the Eastern Conference, but now you've got a new top team in the Eastern Conference. So if the team can just keep building, and then I still feel like the veterans on this team just take it up another notch in the playoffs, I think we still have a good chance. And I totally disagree with this.
We're both going at it. That's no, because the one goal that he let pass yesterday, it was totally redirected. He had no luck for that one either. The other one, he thought he had that puck. The team thought he had a puck. Again, the sound people at the arena started to play sound. We just haven't learned to play until the whistle sounds, apparently, because
that was such the defense needs to be there to help out your goalie on that goal. But there were a couple goals by Colorado last night that were like, this is just luck. These really wouldn't be
January 1st. Vasi has the most wins than any goalie in the league.
But also pull the stats, because I know I'm right. I know you feel like we don't give you credit, and you are right at times on things. But if you do go look at the stats, I think it was they split it up last night. I think it was and I should have taken a picture, and if they do it again, I will. But I think it was his first 10 games back, really not good stats. The last 10 or 12 games, best goal in the league stats.
He's averaging just under 3 goals a game that he's given up, and
that's for the season though. But in the last
since January 1st,
no, it's got to be less than that. It's got to be
because he's let in quite a few on some of them. He's let it, but they want him to get him down to that under 2, right under 2, or just right above 2. But he is the number 1 goalie in wins since January 1st.
Yeah, well, we're one of the only teams that has barely lost any games since January 1st as well. So I think he's heading in the right direction. Just like the team, it's just they keep building and building and building. And you go back to before the Lightning won the Stanley Cup, it was St. Louis, and St. Louis was in last place at the New Year. They fired their coach. We're not firing our coach. By the way, there's been 6 or 7 coaches already replaced in the NHL this season.
And Columbus just fired their GM.
Yeah, and sometimes that's a quick fix, but the Lightning aren't going to do that with having a Hall of Fame coach on their bench, because if you fire John Cooper, he's probably going to get hired before the end of the season by another team. So he's not going to get fired. They're going to figure this out, and they're already on the right direction. So we'll see what happens. I know Blashill. I don't think Blashill's going to get fired either at this point. Sorry.
No, if they didn't. If we didn't fire him during All-Star break, then he ain't going nowhere until.
And I honestly think, I know that the Lightning are definitely looking for a defender, and that's probably their top priority. I still think bottom 6 we have to get a bottom 6 guy. Where'd all the Sheary haters go? Because he was supposed to be that guy. Well, listen, we've seen it in the Stanley Cups we've won. The third line and the fourth line have to contribute. Right now, this team is a one-line team pretty much. And I'd give the second line some credit because Hagels gets his points. Cirelli's really a defensive centerman. I know a lot of people don't realize that. You still pay players that are defensive centermen like that because they're the ones shutting out the other team's top line. But they need that third and fourth line scoring. And it's 4 full lines that wins the Stanley Cup. So I hope that they do something on both sides. But as we know, we don't exactly have too much room even with the.
That's the other thing I said. I'll wait for the third jersey until after the trade deadline.
True. I don't think Nikita Kucherov's getting.
No, I can almost guarantee he ain't going away.
But yeah, that's what I'm most worried about because you got to have those 4 complete lines. I think these young defenders are good, man. Like I have no complaints about them. Although we did see number 7 in there last night, and he did. I thought that one goal went off him, but I guess it was deflected in because they didn't give McKinnon the goal. But it sure looked like he kicked that goal in, and
it did.
Like, can't really.
Yeah, Fleury got a penalty. Yeah, he shouldn't be on that ice. Perfect's got a goal.
Yeah, I thought he lost his job already. But hey, put the guy in there. Someone's got to play. Someone's going to step up. And listen, you put guys in there, people are going to step in. People are going to fall off the wagon. So that's what we're going to see the rest of the season. And we just got to hope it goes up instead of down. And so far, since all these injuries, it's gone up.
Yeah. Well, you know I'm right saying about the deals idiots that JBB made last year. I still don't think – I don't think –
draft picks left, right?
And I don't think you can grade a trade until that player's career is over with, or at least over with the team that they got traded with.
I'm with them on Geno. I'm very close to saying the whole Geno trade's a bust.
Geno trade was a bust. Correct.
I mean, very, very injury prone, which is the problem with these guys that are super physical. Lilleberg hopefully doesn't find that out soon, but a lot of people want to complain about Hedman and not being as physical as he should for his size. But guess what? The reason why Hedman's got the numbers he has and the games played he has is because he doesn't hit, is because he plays, defense with his stick and, uses his body for leverage. He's not a big hitter. He's never been a big hitter unless he gets pissed off, which I love pissed off Hedman.
No, I don't agree. I don't think it's going to ruin this organization. I don't think a Geno trade is going to ruin the actual organization. I think the Lightning are going to be just fine. Maybe
the Lightning don't value draft picks like other teams do. Listen, look at Buffalo. They've valued draft picks for a long time now. Where's that got them?
And you had to look at the D-men that are in the draft that year. Was there any big names? Was there anyone that the Lightning were going to be able to get as far down as they would have drafted? There's a whole bunch. You can't just say, oh, they could have done this, they could have done that. You can't get a star D-man that's really going to help you right away unless it's
going to be
first couple picks, right? Unless you got a heady coming out that's Rossman, Dahlin, someone like that. You've got to develop them, and that's what Lilleberg is.
Yeah, and who else? Like, remember what was it? Schmidt 2 or 3 years ago was the defender they got pretty early. So he's a guy that hasn't played in the NHL yet. So he'll be up in hopefully the next couple of years if he doesn't get traded. But you have to understand that JBB is all in now because what happens in 2 years from now doesn't matter. It's you might not have Stamkos next year. You might not have Hedman in 2 years. Now is the time to make the move. It doesn't matter what draft picks you have because what the hell is a draft pick? You don't know what a draft pick is. And by the way, what does this team turn draft picks into? 7th round draft picks have become $6 million players for playing on the Lightning. Tyler Johnson, not drafted. Yanni Gourde, not drafted. Andre Palat, what, 5th round? Cooch was what, 2nd or 3rd? Point, second rounder. Like, the team doesn't value first round draft picks at all. If you look at next year, I think besides the 7th round where they're stocked up with, I think 3, they've got 2 picks other than that, I think is what it is. Because they've traded them all away. And by the way, you don't have to draft players to get players into your organization. There's other ways to do it. So I don't think the Lightning really care about any of their draft picks, to be honest with you, especially right now when the time comes when they're in a horrible situation because they're running out of draft picks. The time will come, but then we know that, you know, this team's in rebuild mode, and right now is not it. It's not happening. You're not trading Stamkos. You're not trading Kucherov. You're not trading Vasilevsky. You're not trading Hedman. These are Hall of Fame players that they're just going to give the best shot by bringing in players at whatever cost to win a Stanley Cup this year and next year.
Yeah, and he says about, well, we have nothing to trade for right now. Okay, so it'd be okay. Nobody knew that Sergachev was going to go down. No one knew that Chernak was going to be a glass box. You know, there's a lot of different factors. You can't compare that to at the beginning of the season, the end of last season when we got Jeannot. It looked like that was going to be a good trade for what they needed at the time. Yeah.
And who knows what happens? Maybe he doesn't come back to the playoffs, and maybe he has the best playoffs we've ever seen, right? It's not like we're paying Jeannot a ton, but you can't blame injuries on things. Injuries happen. They don't happen on purpose. So I'm not worried about it. I'm going to let JBB do his thing. I know I've had some conversations with John, who's been on the show, about how he doesn't like JBB, but I still stand by the fact that we do not win the Stanley Cups that we've won with Steve Yzerman in charge during the years that we've won them. And the reason why is because Yzerman did make trades at the trade deadline. He traded away Marty St. Louis, but he did not make the big trade to put us over the hump. At those times where we were waiting for that big trade to come, nothing ever happened at the trade deadline. JBB, he's going to make a trade in the next couple weeks. There's no doubt about it. So, and when he made the trade for Gaudreau, when he made the trade for Coleman, that third line won us the Stanley Cup. There's no doubt about it. You can ask anyone that watches the NHL. That third line was our shutdown line. And having Gourde, by the way, another player who was not drafted at all, that was brought into this organization, was on that line. But he did have to bring in the 2 other guys, and they weren't flashy players. Everyone's like, who are these guys? Much like Brandon Hagel, which Brandon Hagel is going to still be a huge part of this team for many, many years. I don't give Yzerman credit. I give him credit for building the base of the team and keeping players like Stamkos and Hedman and signing them for the long-term contracts. But when it came to making the big trade that needed to be done to get this team past the Eastern Conference Final, which a lot of fans don't remember, we could not get past the Eastern Conference Finals, even though we were up 3-2 and against Pittsburgh, against the Capitals. We couldn't get over that hump for the longest time. And when we did against Chicago in 2015, we couldn't beat them because we didn't have 4 full lines.
No, and, you know, if you want to talk about draft picks and you want to say Yzerman, how many first-round picks did Yzerman have? Not many. He gave most of them away. I remember going down 2015 draft, going down to Sunrise for that. And our picks on that was Anthony Cirelli, Matthew Joseph, Mitchell Stevens, Mamba, Boku, the goalie Oldham. Only like 3 of them are still in the system. Great trades. There's some you could say was great. There's some you could say was not. Walcott was one of them that was picked during that draft. So Dennis Young. So no, Yzerman had some bad years too.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Before I forget, I don't know if you guys have heard about GTE Financial, but they're pretty cool over there at GTE Financial. They are actually the official credit union of the Tampa Bay Lightning. No, I did not get my Bolts debit card yet, but you might get yours first if you go ahead in the notes of this podcast or in the chat of this live show. We'll drop in there 2 links. The first one's going to be to get yourself qualified for a Bolts debit card. It's the cream of the crop, Thomas Schooley. When it comes to debit cards, like I saw one really cool debit card once. It had 2 puppies on it. I was like, that's pretty cute. But the Bolts debit card, that's badass. When you take that out of your wallet, no, not when you take it out of your wallet. When you scan that, sometimes my card will do like the like it gives like a little tone. Does yours do that? Like on some of the things that you put it in, like it makes that cool little sound. Yeah. It's like, yes, I had enough money to pay for this. I think we should get in touch with GT Financial and be like, listen, you got to break the code here. When you scan your GT Financial Bolts debit card, it should make I can actually do this in real life. It should make this sound when you're making your purchase. Should I send this to them? I'll send this to them because maybe what we can do is we can work something out where you scan it and then, hey, I would like to buy some milk today at Publix. Boom. Or, hey, that Lightning 3rd jersey, I'll take 3. Boom. That's not included with your GT Financial Bolts card, but you can get one. Use that link. You've got to use the promo code Bolts card. Go qualify to join GT Financial. You got to be able to open a checking account there. You've got to make a $5 deposit to the account. Use that code Bolts card. And sign up and let them know that We the Thunder was the ones that let you know about this so that they come back next season and give us some stuff to give away or something like that. So go apply for that Bolts debit card. By the way, whenever I see someone with the Bolts debit card, I'm like, you know, I do a Lightning podcast, right? And they're like, let me finish buying this first. Just kidding. No Lightning Thunder sound effects included yet in the GTA Bolts Financial debit card. But say you already like your debit card, which you shouldn't because it's probably not as cool as this one. You can still register and sign up for the Bolts Game Day VIP experience. Want yourself a signed stick from the best player in the NHL, Nikita Kucherov? Of course you do. Well, this is one way to get it. The other thing they're going to give away is 4 tickets on the glass versus the Leafs on April 17th. And I just have this funny feeling, Thomas, that game on April 17th, which is the last game of the season, is going to have a lot to do with playoff seeding against the Toronto Maple Leafs, who we are neck and neck with right now. So who would not want to be on the glass and get a Lightning swag bag for that? I don't know who would not want to be. But if you want to be, all you have to do is enter. No debit card required. You can sign up to win. We will put the link here in the chat. We'll put in the link for the podcast listeners. And if you can do us a small favor, in the additional notes box, add We the Thunder into that notes box and give us our due props and let them know that we let you know about this awesome VIP game day experience. You know what I'm going to do? Because I know you probably didn't do it yesterday. I asked you to, but you let
I
me
know.
down
Took
as
a picture
usual.
from the seats.
I have the where the actual seats are. These are on the glass.
Okay, so that was supposed to be happening, but Serena's still in here. She can tell you when we went to go into the door yesterday, they forgot batteries in the ticket machines. So
sure.
we were
Thing.
Sitting there waiting to go in while they were waiting for batteries. It isn't like they have enough time. Matter of fact, you can see right here, I took a great picture of how happy Serena was to be standing here waiting.
Man, that's pretty much the Serena face I get every time I see her. So does that mean she doesn't like me?
She was not a happy camper. And then to top it off, as some guy was going to a seat to go watch warm-ups, he taps her in the butt. But I told her, since we won yesterday, she's gonna have to allow this guy to tap her in the butt every game now.
There you go. Take a spot in line, everyone.
Yeah, superstitions. 117, 116, 117.
So add that to my list of Sticks of Fire, not going to the pregame with them, recording stuff there. Got to get myself a new jersey, and also trying to get before the game, before these rich folks are in their glass seats. I want to take some video and some pictures from those seats. Somebody is going to win these seats, and I really, really hope it's somebody that listens to this show. This is open to everyone. That's why I say I don't know if it's going to be someone that listens to the show, but to get in it, to win it, you got to go to the link and sign up. And please, please, please put in the additional notes box, We the Thunder, because if you do that and enough people do that, they are going to come back to us and probably do some cool stuff in addition to that, that we were going to pass along to you anyway. So
I do want to say something right here real quick. If he's saying about the trades and wants to know if he missed any. Well, if you're going by, you don't know exactly how the trades are going to end up. You can kind of say that the Bishop for Chernak and Budai trade wasn't great. Looking back at that. So because what has Chernak done? So you can look at a lot of different things, and you don't know how the careers are going to try it out. Going over different things. Mike McKenna for Adam Wilcox. Mark Street, we gave up Valtteri Filppula. Not that those are any big things. I mean, no one's had some big impact. He helped us win a cup. He's still on the team. Okay, so Jeannot's still on the team, and you don't know if he isn't the reason we lost the cup.
You can't go back and forth with I'm right, because he's always right.
Right.
Listen,
you can't have it one way and not the other one.
I give him credit. He's a hockey fan. He does know what he's talking about. But I think I'm probably a little bit more optimistic. And I'm a pretty.
The Bishop wasn't to clear cap. The Bishop was because we were going to end up losing him anyway.
Well, we already had Vasi. It was
right.
Bishop was never going to be the long term.
Right, and he had already said he wasn't going to re-sign with us, so we weren't going to be able to afford him the next year.
Yeah. Listen, you can talk speculation all you want, but I can't wait till we hear the complaints about whoever JBB brings in that we've never heard of, that we overpay for in a couple weeks, because it's happening. And you know what? It doesn't matter what draft picks or what prospect we get rid of, because we got to win another cup in the next 2 years. That's the bottom line, or else the rebuild is on. The rebuild is not now. Peter Budai. I sat next to a woman at the Stadium Series that had a Lightning Peter Budai jersey on.
Do you think the Lightning are a playoff team right now? And I want to know what everybody else thinks.
I do, 100%.
Okay.
I don't think they're a Stanley Cup team.
That was going to be my next question.
No, they're good enough to make the playoffs. They're not deep enough to win a Stanley Cup. And that's why, yeah, we need defense. We need something on that bottom six. I don't know. Serena's got a good point here. I think we should try to get Ruda. I think what is he making 3 or 4 now?
Debbie says she doesn't think they're in the playoffs.
The only reason why I liked the idea of Ruda coming back, which I think is a little bit too expensive for us, is he played so damn well with Hedman, and I feel like you could put him right back in there, right? And then you've got your third line with the rookies, and then you got your second line with Chernak and Perbix, which that sounds like a bad mix, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I want you gotta keep Lilleberg up there. Oh
no, he's third line. We can't rely on rookie defense.
Says she does think they are playoffs. Stephanie says playoff, yes. April agrees with you. You know, I'm right. Says we don't need Ruda. Stephanie says he's 2.8 million. No, I'm right. Says we need Hannafin. Yeah, I think they're. I've seen a lot of people say they think they're a first round exit team. I actually think right now they might be a ECF exit team. Yeah, I thought Ruda was up there in the 4 millions.
By the way, Wheeler for New York went out last night and is out for at least the regular season.
No, Ruda's only making 2.75. So you're right, you're wrong.
And that injury to Wheeler is a big deal for New York. That's a big deal. So I don't know. I feel like Boston's on the downslide. I feel like Florida has a lot of momentum right now, and the Metropolitan is just so wide open. Should we just do the full league thing again? We do it 4 times a year? We need to do the full league look at the standings and everything next week. Because the Metropolitan's just it's almost like every team in the Metro is still in it.
Yeah, like nobody wants to take that.
It's wild. And then ours is pretty clear. Like it's us, Toronto, Detroit, and we still have 3 or 4 more games played than Toronto. And Austin Matthews can't stop scoring goals. Natural hat trick last night. Which, by the way, did we talk about this yet? Yeah, I must have brought it up because we talked about Cooch missing the open net.
Yes.
Why the fuck can this team not score a hat trick at home? Is this the new curse? It's ridiculous. How many times have we had a player score 2 goals and we win the game, which means the other team emptied the net anyway? Cooch has an open net and he misses it.
Yeah, it's sad. But then I was like, oh, the third jersey hat's part of that sale. We get the hat trick. And I was like,
that's not always though.
No, I said it isn't, but because you did get the discount yesterday on the third jersey stuff.
Yeah, keep in mind
wasn't any of those charity
products. You're not always going to get the hat trick discount on it.
Right.
All right, so who's getting a hat trick tomorrow?
None, because I won't be there.
Screw you.
Fine. Hagel, and if he does, I'm gonna need you to FaceTime me with. Well, actually, I'll be around the corner. The actual wedding I'm officiating is on Davis Island, so I'll just run over and grab me a couple hats.
I'll be there. Tomorrow's a huge game. I feel like it's a huge game tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a 4-point swing for somebody.
I think this team needs to win this game to prove to themselves that they're not just a playoff team. They're an Eastern Conference final team.
I think it's a statement game for themselves, for the fans, for the coaching staff, and for all the NHL. But I had seen some reports of people talking about the Lightning and have the Lightning surprise them, and everything I saw was that they say the Lightning's a good team. Lightning's a good team. Don't lose focus on the Lightning.
Which, by the way, the Lightning will have the new thirds on tomorrow. And I think on Monday. I don't think for pretty much the rest of the season, to be honest with you. I think they have them on for the majority of the games for the rest of the season over the Blues.
We have for the game Saturday's Monday, then Saturday, March 2nd, Saturday, March 9th, Saturday, March 30th. So it looks like just Saturday games. And then Wednesday, April 17th.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Saturday night's your black night. Like I said before, there's something about the Tampa Bay Lightning in black. That's how I grew up watching this team. Although, are you old enough to remember when white jerseys were the home jerseys in the NHL?
Yes.
Wow, we're old, man.
Shut up.
I'm so old. But no, I still identify with black at the Ice Palace being the go-to jersey. And there's something about this jersey that just reminds me of the old days.
I love the black and blue together. I love it.
I think it's the white stripe at the bottom. I think it's the white stripe at the bottom that gets me. And is it a blue stripe below that? No, it's just that white stripe at the bottom.
Yeah, I love it's just that crest. The crest is going to be the thing that.
And the silver, they keep bringing back the silver slowly but surely. Remember, Vinnick came back, or Vinnick didn't come back. He bought the team, and then they came out with the blue and white, and it was blue and white, blue and white, blue and white, and then all of a sudden we started to get black back, right? And now we're starting to see more silver, and silver was part of the color scheme from the start. So he's right.
we saw the silver. It first started coming back in that Stadium Series jersey.
Yeah, my Stadium Series jersey is sparkly.
Yeah, So that's where we first started seeing the silver come back. And sadly, it was announced that Vinnick and his wife are officially divorcing. So they're going along. They're going to go ahead with their divorce. So that's hopefully not going to interfere with anything on the team.
I've heard she's getting the team.
Yeah. Well, God, I hope she lowers our prices.
Don't count on that, folks. Prices are not going down. Prices for nothing are going down. So support the team. Go buy a new jersey.
A price increase.
Go buy a new jersey. I do think that they will stick to these jerseys for at least another season or two, until they come out with whatever the next NHL gimmick is, Stadium Series 3.0, or you know what I do want to see back, and people that have seen me at games have seen me in this jersey. I take it out maybe 2 or 3 times a year, is the 2010s jersey. I call it the comic book jersey. You like this one?
Yes.
Pull up the picture. Pull up the picture. I don't like this jersey needs a name so we can all identify with it. But I mean, it's not my favorite Lightning jersey, but if they did a reverse retro of it, I think they could really come out with something that's cool. So let me pull it up here. Of course, it's going to go back to. There you go. A young Steven Stamkos standing next to Marty St. Louis. That jersey. I didn't like the font. I didn't like the Tampa Bay. I like the number in front. I like the bolt. if they did a stadium series style of this, you just take all my money now. Just take it all now. But I don't know. I don't know if they'll go back to stadium series because that was kind of an Adidas thing. I'm sure Fanatics is going to try to screw things up.
Well, there'll be some kind of new jerseys for stadium series, but you were talking about retro reverse, not stadium series, right?
Reverse retro. Yeah. Yep. I don't think we're getting the stadium series jersey anytime soon. By the way, Greg Wolf, I think, is headed out in the morning because he will be at the stadium series in New Jersey working. And I do comment on his posts and say, hey, why don't you plant in their ear? Like, let us at least be an away game again for one of these series. And he did tell me he has tried to mention that we should be, because listen, Chicago alone, which is now a shitty team. I understand they had a dynasty when all this outdoor game started, but I believe they're on their 5th Winter Classic. That doesn't even count stadium series. We've been in 1. We're the best team in the last 10 years.
Listen,
Get the fuck out of here.
Vegas and Seattle got a game. That's all you got to say. Vegas and Seattle got a game. So,
and you know what I really like, as much as I hate to say it, is freaking Phillies stadium series jerseys.
Yeah.
They look so good.
They do.
They really do. I don't know. So I've been planting that bug. By the way, we will have Greg Wolf on this show. The reason why we haven't had him on, I think, all season is because the guy works so dang much at all these events. I'm waiting till he gets them all over with. He was at the All-Star game a couple weeks ago. Now he's at the Stadium Series, and I think he's got one more Stadium Series game.
Yes.
So I'm waiting for him to finish everything up, and then I think right before the playoffs we'll have him on.
April said, I doubt the Chicago was in it. It was probably whatever team won the lotto was going to be part of it, because it automatically went to Bedard.
He's back, by the way.
Then Jody, Panthers going to Finland. That's the Global Series game.
The Panthers have earned it, but I think they will be surprised when they see how many people from Lightning showed up in Sweden compared to how many people are going to show up for the Panthers in Finland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which is the shocking part of us not getting another stadium series, at least away game, based on how well we showed in Nashville a couple years ago.
Well, if you take the Global Series, 2 games in Sweden, you take the Stadium Series in Nashville, they already said Sweden was a 65-35 at best, Lightning fans. The Nashville game, if it wasn't 60-40 Lightning, it was probably 50-50.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah. So they know the teams travel well. You can't tell me these cities won't like to have Tampa fans come into their town. I get all the time from doing different group trips with Thunderbolts members, all the time get invited to come bring a group again to some of these cities. So they know Tampa shows out for their team, and they know they spend money for their teams.
Yeah, I don't think we're cheap based on not only the Stadium Series and all the people that were there, but the last game I went to in Nashville last month or December. We filled up Layla's after the game, and I met a bunch of Lightning fans. Some of them have come to our watch parties.
Yep.
Shout out to those fans. One of them is Kate's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan at heart, which is very disturbing, but she was kind enough to decline the raffle that she won last weekend. You caught that, right?
Yes.
And we did another one. She's a very ill-guided as far as her fandom, but she's a good person, I feel like. So
yeah, I was like, oh, she's gonna come up here and get booed again for wearing. She only had the Toronto hat on. That was it. And I was like, oh, she's gonna get booed again. She's like, pick again, pick somebody else.
she likes Hagel Shocker. If it was a Hagel stick, she probably would have kept it, I bet.
Now, I don't think they'll get many Dallas Stars fans to go over to this Finland game either. It'll be interesting to see how many. No, I'm sure Finland locals are going to fill up the rest of that Global Series game.
Yeah. Does Florida have a bunch of Finns on their team?
Only one, I think.
All right. Well, as usual, I got on here. It was like, this can be a quick little 25-minute show. And we're at an hour 25. So
I told you there was nothing else for anybody to do. Real quick, if anybody saw the little thing in Thunderbolts this week with me posting about them not taking the STM discount at the beer vendors and then taking it down and saying it was not true. So apparently Delaware North, who runs the vending, all the concessions, sent an email out to their employees saying that they were taking away the STM discount, but informed to tell the Tampa Bay Lightning they were doing that. So when I posted it, of course, reps started reaching out to me saying it was incorrect. They knew nothing about it. So then I had to forward them the actual email from Delaware North that was sent to me, talking about this experiment that they were doing and taking away the discount to the beer vendors for STMs. And
by far the stupidest thing they've done this season.
Yeah, but they didn't do it. Instead, the Lightning said that's the stupidest thing because right now we are in renewal season. And that's the last thing they want to do is piss off STMs right now during renewal season. So it didn't happen. But the response I got when I ended up, because I have 4 text messages telling me how wrong I am and who was my source and that I have incorrect info. And then I said, well, okay, here's the email from Delaware North. Maybe you guys should speak to them. And then the answer back I got was interesting. So it ended up not happening. It was supposed to be an experiment. Last night's game and tomorrow's game. Apparently it is not going to be an experiment. They've already made some other experiments throughout the season that they talked about in this email. But I guess nobody from Delaware North decided to speak to the Lightning.
I'm curious.
Hey, another shout out real quick to Justin Russell. His little son gave me a warm-up puck last night. The first warm-up puck I've ever gotten.
Where are you taking pucks from children?
He got 3 of them. So he gave.
I'm gonna go find Justin Russell tomorrow before the game then, because I've never got a warm-up puck yet.
So he was. So Jameson got one from who were they from? Justin. They were from God.
All right, he's going to respond to you. But while we're on that beer topic, as somebody that I'm not even a huge beer drinker, to be honest with you, and people that know me really well know that. But for me, having a beer at the game is like a tradition. That's why you will always see me have at least one of those big beers at the game. To charge $15 plus, and that's with a discount, to charge that much for a beer is ridiculous. So to say that we're not going to give season ticket members who already are paying a lot of money to just be there is the stupidest thing you can ever do. So hopefully this is looked at by the team and the company that's doing this. Like, what are you thinking? Like, I guess, how much more money do you want to make per beer? Like, how much money do you need to make? Because we know how much this beer costs, right?
Well, my thing is that, when I got the text, there's been times that I have said some things that maybe the team didn't want out there, and they've messaged me and said, hey, can you take that down? Or, are you sure about this?
This is why we're not on the Lightning radio network. and Derek Brooks is.
No, because if they did, I wouldn't be able to do this kind of shit. So that's their own fault. That would be a way for them to censor me. So, but to get the messages I got the other day telling me I was incorrect, my sources were wrong, And I tried saying no. And the only reason it was posted was because employees asked me to get it out to the STMs because they didn't want to deal with pissed off STMs. And that was the reason why it was posted, was because of the fact that they don't have to deal with the mad STMs. Well, the reps were going to have to, but they were blindsided out of it too.
Not right there at the game.
Right.
Like, could you imagine walking up as a season ticket member for 10 years, or it doesn't even matter how long, and them saying, "Oh, you don't get a season ticket member for this beer here anymore."
Yeah. And could you imagine waiting in line for 10 minutes for that and then get told you can't? And then, so, and it was actually 3 different employees that asked me about, and once I posted it, another employee sent me something saying, thank you very much, because I knew I was going to get yelled at from STMs and I can't post it or I'd be fired. So, it was sent to me, please share this, please help get the word out. And I did. And then the team came back to me saying I was incorrect. So I had quite a few people over the last couple of days ask me what I thought was all about. So that's what it was. It was something that Delaware North, who's the ones that run concessions there, did not inform, apparently, Lightning reps. They were going to do this experiment, and Tom's decided to post it.
See, this is why we can never be on the Lightning Radio Network, because we're gonna give this is like Dateline right here. We're gonna give you straight up facts. We're never gonna bullshit you. And if we were on the Lightning Network, like, they would probably not let us do a live show. They would probably listen to everything we say. And here's a little nugget for you if you did not know this: they sell beers outside of the stadium that you can walk in with. And you can buy those beers from wherever you want and walk in with them because they're cans of beer. So there you go, Bolts fans that like to drink. Save yourself a couple bucks on the way in, because you're still going to buy one in that first intermission anyway to have that second beer. So they get plenty of our money. Here's an idea: wins $5 beer night, which is still an expensive beer. As Jody says here, you can get a beer for $3.29. Wins $5 beer night.
Yeah, listen, I had to. Before I walked in yesterday, when I was with Serena, I made sure my tickets were still valid for yesterday's game, because I thought, oh, Lord, here we go. But it wasn't done for any kind of, but I just wanted to clear it up because it was an email that was sent out to the employees. So, yeah,
that's funny. By the way, this show has never been even got a single like from the Tampa Bay Lightning on Twitter. Not even close to a single like or retweet. So trust me, we're not affiliated in any way with the team. In fact, I am good friends with somebody that's on the Lightning Radio Network named Ian Beckles. And he'll tell you himself, he and Derek Brooks barely talk about the Lightning on the Lightning Radio Network. They did have Jeff Finnick on, and I totally urge you to go listen to their show, especially that episode with Jeff Finnick. And I totally asked him some questions about what it was like to just talk to Jeff Finnick off the air. And to be honest with you, he's like one of the most humble people I've ever talked to in my life. So go watch that interview.
And Ian, if you don't know Ian does not mince words. So if he thought Mr. Vinnick was a prick, he would say, oh, he's a total prick. Because Ian is like that.
Yeah, that's Brooks and Beckles. That's on the Lightning official network. And, I never asked Ian to jump on the show, but maybe I will, because we are like legitimately friends. He's helped me out with a lot of different things. So, and if
you guys have watched us last year or whatever, you saw we have done live broadcasts from his Kava house last year at Dignitary Kava. Yeah, Ian's a really good guy.
Yeah, in fact, there'll be the street team for Mitra 9, which is a Kratom drink, 18 and up only. They will be out and about on the around the arena tomorrow afternoon. So if you see Mitra 9 with Kratom, those folks, tell them you know us, and I told them to let me know when they get there and come by the little pregame that we're going to have with the folks at Sticks of Fire. So if you come by and see us there, you can try a Kratom seltzer drink. No alcohol in those, but kind of weird. It makes you feel like you've had one or two beers in your system, but you are not drunk at all. No alcohol. So yeah, check it out. Then that's the kind of stuff you can get at Dignitary Cafe, Kava and Kratom, that kind of stuff. So alternative to the dangers of alcohol. Speaking of expensive alcohol drinks. All right, can we get the heck out of here? It's Friday night.
I know. I'm still in a food coma.
Yeah, and I didn't even eat dinner yet. You're sitting here.
I ate enough for both of us.
Getting high off of fried Twinkies and fried
Twinkie
Oreos, and
the Amish donut was the first. We had the strawberry shortcake kebabs. We had the apple fries with peanut butter, caramel, and bacon. The steak on a stick. We had the bourbon chicken on a stick. We had the fried cheese. The Oreo cinnamon roll. Yeah.
That sounds awful.
It wasn't at the time, but it's going to be tonight, I'm sure.
All right. Well, Thomas Schooley won't be a game, not because he's officiating in a wedding tomorrow night, because he might be having a heart attack, but all that fried food will do it too. All right. Tomorrow evening, I should say, Florida Panthers will be back next Wednesday with a guest. So come check us out. This has been We the Thunder. Don't forget to be the Thunder.
That's it?
That's it.